Welcome back to Hook, Line and Sinker, ladies and gentlemen. This next segment, Nick, is all about fishing rods, and in particular Wilson fishing rods, which we've used on the show over the past, number of years. And we've come here to the Wilson factory to learn a bit more about them.
Brisbane, Queensland, Hardy, and that's where Wilson rods are built, in that building behind us. And we have teed up Cord Lucas, who is the head rod designer here at Wilson, to take us through a step-by-step guide of building a Wilson fishing rod.
This is it. This is the rod room at Wilson's, Nick, where the company produce and design some of their 500 different types of rods.
It is an extraordinary number when you think about it. There is a recipe card for each rod that they build here, and there are 500 different varieties. So quite literally, there is something to suit the style of fishing that you do, no doubt, with a Wilson sticker on it.
That's right. Now, we don't know much about this, but this man does. Cord Lucas, welcome back to Hook, Line and Sinker, mate.
Yeah, good to see you again, Andrew.
Now, we're going to go through the process of building a fishing rod today.
Yes.
And, mate, I guess it all starts with the actual rod bit itself, the blank, doesn't it?
Yep, the blank is the most important part of the fishing rod.
Wilson use high-quality Kilwell blanks for their rods, and each is specifically designed to suit Australian conditions. The first thing to find is what's known as the backbone. Every rod has one, and it's to do with the wall thickness when the blank is originally rolled up.
So we'll have a look at this.
Yep.
We load the blank up, and if you roll that blank, you'll actually see it wanting to skip into that position.
Yeah, okay, so it's comfortable sitting there.
It's comfortable sitting there, and what that means is that that blank actually, when it's loaded on a fish, will be nice and balanced. Now, there's another thing with the backbone. We've got to think about this rod wants to bend into this position. If we're going to put a rod, make a spin rod.
Yep.
We want those guides to be on the inside, which will turn into underneath when we're fishing with it. Okay, and if we're having an overhead, we want the guides to be on top.
Okay, but important that they are lined up exactly with the backbone.
Exactly with the backbone, yes.
All right, now the process of building a rod, once we've found the backbone, picked out our blank, the next step is to the glue table.
Yeah, we've got to put the grips on, and that's important too. Every step is important. Every step is done by hand, and every step makes a difference into how that rod performs at the end of the day.
There is a huge amount that goes into making just one fishing rod. I think you'll be surprised.
Next step is the gluing table, where the rod starts to take shape. The reel seat and tip are lined up on the backbone, and the all-important fore and rear grips are glued in place with the use of a nifty little trick.
It's glued down with air, so basically we put the nozzle into the air gun, we put the glue on the blank, and we use our hand to put tension, and it blows that grip up like a balloon. Why that's important? Because it slips it over the glue and doesn't push the glue off the blank. And then once you let the air go and the air stops coming through the nozzle, straight down and onto the glue, and a nice tight fit that way.
Each and every Wilson rod is binded just like this. It's a fiddly process, Cord, and one that I'm not particularly good at, mate. I think we'll have to undo that before I wreck an expensive rod. But when done properly, this is the result. The guides are all binded on there nicely. What's the most important thing with binding?
I think it's got to be tight, and there's got to be no gaps in it. So we've got to make sure that it sits beside itself and it doesn't run off as per your one there, Andrew.
There's a bit of craftsmanship involved in it, a bit of artistry, isn't there?
It is. It's hand-eye coordination and manual work, and as you can see, what it took you there to actually go and do a whole rod, it does take a long time.
So once the guides are actually bound to the rod, it then comes out to someone like Ans who checks them for exact alignment. It's then over to the finishing table.
And the final step, mate, you are epoxying this rod up, and mate, is that just purely to make it shiny, or is there a little bit more to it than that?
No, that's a little bit of it, but there's a little bit more to it. It actually seals the thread. So what it does is stops the water getting in and rotting the thread, and holds the runners down tight as well.
And it does make it shiny. And then it takes 11 hours to get to touch dry and another 3 days to set properly, Nick. A lot in it.
An extraordinary amount. Each of these Wilson branded rods is handcrafted right here in Australia. And there is a fair degree of craftsmanship that goes into it. That is all we've got time for on this week's show. Thank you very much, Cord, for being part of it.
Yeah, no worries, boys. It's been good showing you through my house.
We'll see you again next week on Hook, Line and Sinker.